we can. They'll come in and they're not already missing something after we just went live for 2 seconds.
I know, right?
But as soon as they start coming in, we'll do the usual round the horn, see what people have been up to. Yeah, I got to fix my lighting, chat. I don't know. This is nonsense. The thing is, the lights that I got, these studio lights, they're from Limo Studio. They're meant for like taking pictures, and they're actually really nice lights, but the light bulbs don't have like long lifespan. And I've had these for a year and a half of using them like almost every day. So I think
Probably not made for that.
No, they're not. They're not made for that. And I think probably they're starting to get dimmer because I can almost tell that it's not as bright in here. And like you can see right here, it's normal, right? As soon as I start backing up, it starts fading into existence. It's almost like with the background. So, or I may just actually keep the green screen up and just put my posters up and then just leave the green screen as just a background just a green screen. Just play with like this is like have an actual background and not just constantly use a green screen because the lighting has to be so good. It's ridiculous. All right, let me make sure I got everybody's loud enough. I'm going to turn you guys up.
Testing.
Turn my mic up. What?
Oh yeah, you guys are good. You guys are good.
So, Cyber, by the way, you pick a team yet, bro?
So I was thinking about it, right? So I want to play Cell for sure, but I was trying to look at like Beerus, and it's like, I don't know. He looks kind of trash.
He takes some imagination.
I don't want to go into a lot of the DLC because I don't want to pay for a lot of the DLC. So like Jiren and stuff like that, I don't want to pay for. So I'm just trying to stick to the original cast. When you want these hands in CVS2 Omega, look, I have it. It's on my computer on my PC right now.
Hold on, Omega, can you roll cancel, bro?
It's Alpha 2.
It's out.
Cancel.
No, he said CVS2.
Oh, CVS2. Oh,
yeah. CVS2.
Man, he still get hands.
I'm saying if he wants it,
oh, then you lost.
I will load it up right after this and we'll play 3 games. I love CVS2, man. I love CVS2.
It needs to be 3. Granted,
I just want to play 3 because if I started, I don't want to stop playing.
You're gonna be here all night.
So, chat, before we get started, have you guys ever had these?
What is it?
They're honeycombs, big bites, but it's big chocolatey flavor. It is chocolate honeycombs.
Nope. I didn't even see those, let alone.
Hey, Shane, how's it going, buddy? Sponsor. Honeycomb. Hell, is it a post? Post. Yeah, hit us with that sponsor. No, like, it's, I mean, they're kind of tasty. They're not as good as regular honeycombs, though.
If you're trying to get a sponsor, you need to sell it, man. You can't be like
these are amazing. You should have them now. So good.
I ain't gonna lie, I never even seen them. Tasting like paste. It was so good.
So good. Buy it now.
Hope that check come in soon.
I need those royalties. No, they're not bad. I think regular honeycombs are better.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never liked chocolate cereals. So.
I mean, speaking of cereal, bro,
it's weird. Look at the straw, right? So the straw, something. I hate Streamlabs. I hate Streamlabs so much. Streamlabs, don't sponsor me because I'm dropping you. It's definitely Streamlabs. Anyway, so it looks like people are starting to come in. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday. Week feels like it's almost over, but it's just starting.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm good. I just want you to. I just saw you post to Twitter. Get your royalties from Funko." Yeah, Shane had posted on Twitter the Funko Pop for Winter Soldier, and he said it looked eerily like me. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not confirming nor denying. There's really a metal arm over here. All right, so let's do a quick around the horn, see what everybody's been up to this week. We're going to start with Vegeta because I have a feeling it's going to be short. Vegeta, what did you do this week, leading up to this week since last Tuesday?
Work Apex Second.
Hey, look at that! There we go. We'll move on.
I mean,
All right. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, good stream. Good stream. Gamer, what have you been up to this week?
To adult stuff.
Ugh.
Mainly trying to take care of government benefits. I'm just gonna leave it at that. That's about the bulk of what I've been doing. But other than my free time is, like I said, I've been playing Apex, gearing up for the new season that just hit today.
Yes, which we're actually going to touch on, chat. So a little something different here at Coin Op. There's not a lot of news this week, and when it comes to older stories, we didn't talk about it last week, so I didn't want to just spring up on somebody and be like, "Remember 1996 when you played such and such?" That's what we're talking about tonight. So I called everybody up and I said, "Look, we're just going to chat tonight." So we're literally just chatting. Chat. If you want to ask us some questions, feel free to do so. We'll answer them as we see fit. Neo, what have you been up to this week?
Well, I've finally finished. I had to change the fuel sender on my Cadillac. So like my fuel gauge kept dropping to like E, and then like kept coming up and backing down and everything. So unfortunately, you actually have to pull the fuel pump out of the tank.
Did you have to
So-
drop the tank to get to it?
No, the previous owner had actually cut a hatch.
From the
the-
back seat.
Mm-hmm. So
Nice.
I just spent time doing that. Like my whole garage smelled like gas, and
Which is not a
Like
bad smell.
I mean, it's
Too
all right.
much of
When
it's
you
going to
wake
give you a headache. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it till
yeah.
you
I'll
wake
say
up?
just
Chloroform,
nah.
baby.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, does it smell like chloroform? No, but it just took me like maybe a day or two, just because it was so freaking cold. But it didn't take me too
Yeah.
long once I actually saw what I needed to do. Biggest pain in the ass was like the mount has C clips on it,
Mhm.
so trying to fit those back in was majority of my time. But outside of that, it wasn't too bad.
I gotcha. None of you guys are watching. I think I talked to John about this. He hadn't started it yet, but you guys aren't watching WandaVision, are you?
I am actually. I just caught up.
Okay. Well,
I
That's
did
what-
it out of curiosity. It was boring at first, and then I was like, "Oh, cool."
yeah, the first two episodes it's a slow burn. I gave the first two episodes a 5 out of 10, so it's a slow burn. But this fourth episode really picked up. I enjoyed it. If anybody wants to know, the reason why I'm letting you guys know about it is because over at Eric's Reloaded, we do the weekly Geekly on Sundays at 5. That's one of the things that we did this week leading up to Tuesday, and then from last Tuesday we streamed 7 days to Die a few times this week, and most of the loyal cyberverse sticks around while we're playing it, but we don't get a lot of chatting. But people seem to enjoy 7 days, not as much as my Phasmophobia gameplay, but 7 Days to Die is a pretty fun game. It's a zombie survival, and if you guys are interested, you can go check the VODs here and see if you enjoy it, and please come chat with me while I'm playing, because it is slow paced until you get to the Horde night. Other than that, though, I haven't really done too much. I did work. I went to Best Buy Saturday, and Piper, did we pick up anything at Best Buy? Oh, I got a heater because our heat keeps going out, so I got a little mini heater.
God, that sucks.
Yeah, it
I've been
does.
there.
It does.
I've been
but
there. It ain't fun.
It's
No, it's
the
not.
story of my life.
Mm.
What do you want to chat with, Roman and me? Omega, I don't even know what you're talking about, man. Oh, you don't want to chat with Roman and me. Okay.
That's what he's saying. He's saying you don't
In
want
the
chat with
game,
him.
that's fine. I'm saying when we're playing the chat, you guys aren't chatting with the chat. You're just talking to each other. So people are literally watching a podcast that they can't really interact with. So I'm just saying interact with me on 7 days. That's all. Jeez.
Do that.
Anyway, so tonight, a couple topics I wanted to go over, chat. We are going to talk about, one of the first things I want to talk about is Twitch Rivals held a Killer Instinct tournament over on the Maximilian's channel over here on Twitch. And for those who don't know what Killer Instinct is, it is a fighting game. This one is the Killer Instinct. When did it come out? 20 what? I don't remember.
2013.
Yeah, there you go. So it's that version. It's not the original. And it looks like they did it because the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Twitch Rivals was actually a very big success. And so They said that Max put the total viewership at a breaking 43,000
What?
as Hologram took down the legendary Dayton Wheels Jones 3-1 in incredible grand finals that went through a bracket reset. So it was saying that they also, overall KI blew past its usual averages on Twitch, jumping from an average of 1 live channel and an average viewership of around 36 viewers in just January. So this game was essentially dead on Twitch.
Yeah. No, it really was though.
You have 1 channel and the average viewers of 36. I mean, for me, that's thriving. But I understand why
Right.
for a gaming, like that game itself, I can see why that would be a struggle. But it said it broke 40,000 viewers across more than 20 channels. And then Max rated the stream of the winner, the Twitch Rivals champion, and he streamed to more than 7,000 viewers on just his personal channel.
That's cool.
That's so
It's just the
wild.
second event that this is just the second of Max's Twitch Rivals events he has put on. But how successful they've both been, you can probably expect more.
Oh, yeah, of
So,
course.
so do you guys have any thoughts on Maximilian throwing these events, or do you think this is good for older games? Because I know usually it's something that's they usually do it for bigger titles, but to see something like this thrive, what do you guys think about that?
I'm actually happy for the Killer Instinct community. I haven't really touched this game. I played it in betas, like when they brought it tournaments, like they had a little table sitting around, let people played it. I played it then. That's the last time I played it. I haven't played the finished game since it's been out. But from what I played, it was fun. And I'd like to see a community get, taken care of. They're dedicated to the game. I'd like to see that strive. Even if I'm not a fan of the game, like as long as people's, are, supporting it, I like to see it thrive. So I'm glad it worked out for them.
See, for me, I loved Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct 1 is one of my favorite games of all time. Or in all genres, just that's in a top 5. Killer Instinct 2. When this one came out, I was super hyped for this one when it came out. And I played it, and I think the game died because of the fact that it was Xbox only. And no offense to, I mean, Street Fighter V was PlayStation only, but I really think at the time Xbox One had the stigma, or it wasn't Xbox One, was it? Yeah, I guess it was.
Yeah, it was
There's so
Xbox
many
One, yeah.
Xboxes. Xbox One had that controversy when it was originally coming out for all the DRM and having to be connected to the internet, and that was like a launch title. And so I feel like that really hurt the game, and it never had the proper, I don't want to say launch, but it didn't have the proper, I guess it had a stigma around it,
Say
and it just never grew.
Life cycle, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. I
Platform.
would say that. But what do you
But
think?
also,
Go ahead.
I was about to say also though, Street Fighter also came out at the same time, not only on PlayStation but PC. Killer Instinct waited a while, then put it on PC. By that time, it was pretty much a dead game at that point. By the time they did it.
Yeah. So what do you think, Vegeta? Do you think Twitch Rivals throw in these events, especially with it being what they can? I mean, I consider that a massive success, but do you think this is something they should do for older fighters, or should they stick to just newer style games?
Man, I'd say it's a cool idea because I mean, I didn't even know about it till now, so I'm kind of mad I missed it because I would have watched it because I mean it's just refreshing seeing some of the older games compared to the the new stuff that we're still used to.
Yeah, and,
And as much as this COVID thing sucks, it's like it still gives exposure to games that could have been more successful because people will watch it because there's nothing else to do.
yeah, and it's funny to say Killer Instinct an old title when it was 2013, but it is old in terms
Years.
of fighting games. But one of the things
Yeah, I
that
played it up till season 2, so
yeah, it had a lot of support from the developers. I think one of the other things that hurt the game too is halfway through it was picked up by a different company because Rare was sold. Iron Galaxy.
was it Iron Galaxy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
And I mean, for what it was, they did a good job though. But it was like, it was just it freaked people out because they're jumping ship because like, oh well, it's dead now. Cool, we're done. But that's not what happened.
yeah. So, I mean, I think it's pretty good. I think that hopefully the game continues to thrive, or at least it holds enough attention to where maybe Iron Galaxy can get the ability to make a new KI. I love the soundtrack to KI. I love Killer Instinct as a franchise. I did not play this one that much, but the winner used Chief Thunder, and that's pretty cool considering I didn't think he was top tier, so I don't know anything about Killer Instinct. So
Wasn't
Wasn't he
season
like
one.
wasn't he like one of the worst characters in the original one?
in the original one, yeah, he was.
No. Oh, the original, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that's what I meant in KI1.
Yeah, and KI1
like,
he was
his-
pretty bad.
His starter was like a 3-hit, like
It was the triple axe, and in that game,
yeah.
after 3 hits, you could do
Three
a
hits.
combo breaker, and yeah, he was bad. He wasn't very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, that's cool. I
Powerhouse.
hope to see more. I know Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was a big success, but for some reason, I feel like that game had a bigger following in its demise to where people were still, you still see people say wins Marvel, right? You don't see people say wins Killer Instinct. So I think seeing 40,000 people across that is a good exposure. I just don't know. It's weird because fighting games getting that exposure, like when they were like on ESPN and everything, does that really help the game though? Because they have no idea what's happening. And most of the commentators don't really explain it to you. They're just more or less color commentating.
I should
I
think
mean,
that.
I don't think it's.
I mean, do you think these actually help the game? Like, obviously they have 40,000 viewers, but do you think those people are going to go get the game and stick with it? Or do you think they're not going to bother with it? Like, can somebody check now? How many people are playing Killer Instinct right now on Twitch? Can somebody check?
Let me
Chat,
check.
do
I'll
some
check.
investigative work. Just go to the Twitch channel and see how many people are playing right now.
See, I don't know though, because it's like, I mean, there's people that tune into sports and have no idea what's going on, and I mean, heck, and some of them I don't know what's going on. I'm just kind of like I watch it because, hey, cool, like whatever. But
with sports though, what people bank on is you buying their memorabilia, you're not buying the sport.
well, I mean, I know we're talking about. I mean, in general, you just said I'm referring to where you're talking about like the commentators, they're not really explaining what's going on. I'm like, well,
right.
you
I see what you're
do
saying.
where else you just tune into, but so I don't think that's a factor.
I got you. That makes sense.
There's currently 108 viewers, and what is that? 2, 3, 12, 13, 14, 15 channels.
So out of 15 channels, it has a maximum of 100 viewers.
185.
Yeah. So I mean, the Twitch Rivals thing just literally happened over the weekend. It is during the week. It's a 9:00 on a Tuesday. How many? If you go look at Tekken and see what Tekken has. See. Let's just do a comparison. I just want to see, because they were saying Killer Instinct had one channel with an average of 36 viewers. So the fact that it's up on views and has multiple channels right now, I think that means that it was a success. But
I can tell you
Tekken
right
now-
now that Tekken's got a pretty good amount.
Yeah, Tekken usually Tekken has 1.6 right now. 6K is usually the highest of the fighting games. It's
That's why I
usually-
was saying, just as a comparison, just to see where we're at.
Yeah.
I like Killer Instinct. There's very few fighters that I just outright hate right now, but I'm glad to see that it was getting some love. I want to give kudos to Maximilian. I know I give him a hard time on my stream whenever anyone brings him up, just because he got popular and people go to him for a lot of like their YouTube fighting game news and like opinions, and he's not a top player per se. I mean, he was pretty good at Killer Instinct, but in the other games they're watching him for the content, and as a player, it's a little bit of jealousy, I guess. But he's a cool dude, so I don't have any problems with him. I've met him before. He's a really nice guy.
I met him
So-
in Vegas. I met him at one of the Evos, him and his wife. They're
Yeah,
actually
he's
pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a super nice guy. But I just feel like, like you look at someone like Justin who throws out a video of a fighting game tournament that he enters and probably won and gets a quarter of the views. It is what it is.
That's always okay. That even happens in Korea. It's funny because like sometimes Tekken will have a high crazy number, and it'll be a Korean person, but it's not somebody who actually plays tournaments. It's like some
It's
guy
just
who
content
plays, like-
creation. Yeah.
yeah.
That's what
he
I've always
plays,
said.
like-
You don't want to be the best. You just want to be entertaining in today's world. That's the reality of it. You can be the best and be the very best. But if you
And no
wanna
one
make-
ever was.
Yeah, if you want to make that money though, you just better be entertaining. Just yell, scream, and break keyboards.
Right.
I think
Alright,
that's cool.
so go ahead.
I was about to say, I think that goes for fighting games. It seems like because any other game, like if you look at like
No, it
Fortnite
works for
and
it works for other games too. Trust me. Like most of the people that I see with like high view count, that nonsense works. It's just you just got to be able to sell it.
Got to sell that
Yeah,
victory.
that's
I know,
true.
I know. With Fortnite, a lot of them, like if you go to YouTube, the Muse Elks, the Lachlan's, even the Fresh, like they get the big views. Like even like if Laserbeam puts out a Fortnite video, it's going to get more views than say if Tfue puts out one. Even though Tfue's not a top player anymore, I'm just throwing that name out there. So I guess from the YouTube front, sure, but if you go to Twitch, yeah, they're watching the sweats. They're watching the your dog water players. So I want to switch over to the next topic real quick with the break. It's not breaking news now. This is from earlier today, but it's still breaking news in terms of Bezos out as Amazon CEO less than a year after launching a terrible game. Now, this is from Kotaku, who I don't really care for. I think Kotaku's trash, but in general, I could have just clicked the link. It was one of the first ones.
It depends on the
I would
writers.
say
Like it really.
there's a couple writers that are pretty good up there, but in this
Yeah.
case, that's why they mention a specific game. I didn't even know Bezos had anything to do with games, but according to Kotaku, it says he's stepping down as CEO of Amazon less than a year after it unreleased team-based shooter Crucible because nobody wanted to play it.
Mhm.
Yep.
I mean, I didn't want to play it. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not a team-based shooter guy, but I mean,
I never even heard of it, to be honest with you.
but I mean, like,
Yeah,
I've heard the name before, but
yeah, it was supposed to be a. I'm trying to remember exactly what type of team-based shooter it was. I'm trying to think it was more like. I don't think it was a team deathmatch. I think it was more like a Valorant or a CS:GO. I think.
Mm.
I honestly don't remember. I just remember watching it and I was like, eh. I mean, timing is key with those games, right? You need to catch people when they're just getting tired of the last big title and you're coming out with a new title. If you're just throwing, like, you could probably count 400 or 500 different BRs out there, right? But Fortnite, Apex, and Warzone are still the top ones. Why? People aren't really tired of them yet. So it's not the right time to bring them out. So it's, I mean, you got to really be like, Apex caught fire so quick because people were tired of Fortnite at the time Apex came out. And the game literally surpassed everything for the first season. And it's obviously it's plateaued now.
I got tired of people building their route of a beating. Like, no, your ground game is trash. You're just gonna put a wall in your face, scrub.
So, yeah. So, I mean,
It's like you see one shot and all of a sudden skyscrapers start popping up.
Yeah, bro. Like they built the whole New York City. I'm like, well, I'm not going in there. Like it was.
there was a guy that recently I was playing, and there was a guy that I shot at, and I hit him, and obviously he 90'd up, which is fine. I do the same, but he 90'd up. So instead of me going up after him because he was going up so high, I'm like, well, I'm just going to knock him down. So I knocked him down, and he literally just started going right back up. Didn't shoot, didn't try to counter anything I was doing. 90'd back up. So I'm like, what? So I broke him down again just out of curiosity, and he started 90ing back up again. I'm like, can you not fight on the, can you literally not do anything else until you're literally up at the echelon of height?
That could
Bro, I
be a
got
bot.
mats.
No,
could be a bot.
no, bots can't build.
No,
Oh,
bots
really?
don't.
Yeah, bots don't build.
They'll-
They build one wall or one ramp, and that's
Yeah,
it.
they build
I
a
mean,
ramp.
like an advanced, like a hack or something.
Okay,
It could be
The only
macros.
Yeah.
the only thing I liked in Fortnite for a while that was like really fun to me, regardless of building, was when they had that mini game was like the floor is lava. Dude, I played that until
That's a
they
good
took
one.
it out.
Right now they got the Mandalorian they got the Mandalorian bounty, and if you win, you get a special umbrella.
Oh.
It's pretty much the same as John Wick's bounty, only it's the Mandalorian. So yeah, so I mean, did you guys even, I mean, obviously none of us here even really paid attention to Crucible. Obviously, I also don't think that has anything to do with this person stepping down. But it's like when this person steps down, wasn't he considered, he was the richest person in the world, right?
He's one
I
up. He
think-
held a title
yeah,
for a
he's-
while. Yeah.
Yeah, he held the title for a good little while.
So like he's stepping down. Does that really hurt anybody's feelings?
Nope.
I mean,
Not
I
really.
understand why it's news.
You know, not really for me. I don't give.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why it's news. I get it because it's important to know that somebody that big has stepped down, and maybe that could mean changes for Amazon as a whole. Maybe. I don't know. I think it's interesting to note because Amazon owns Twitch. I mean, this could be something that trickles down if the CEO feels that things need to change. So, I mean, I guess we'll see what happens.
You know, I watched this. I watched. There's a channel on YouTube called it's Nerd Slayers Studios. He does a series called Death of a Game.
Are you plugging another content creator on my stream?
I'm just saying where to
No,
find it.
I'm kidding. Plug whoever you want. I'm just messing with you.
Gotta plug us first, man.
Yeah, first.
The point is,
It always be on. It always be on.
but the thing is, he did a series on that, Crucible, of why it died and everything. It's pretty fascinating of what happened. It's actually pretty fascinating. It's one of the stories that people who got money just don't know what to do with it. It's kind of what happened with Crucible and why it failed.
Yeah, I'm
So-
curious to see how much money they actually put into that game.
Remember that
Yeah.
now? I saw like something from it. It was they're like, oh, it's gonna be the Apex killer. Yeah, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, you sell big, you know, big hype. Sure, that's fine. But gamers, if they're not tired of what they're playing, they're not jumping ship. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it was
So
more
it's
trying
all
to cash
about
in on
timing.
I mean, look at
cashing
Smash
on the
Brothers.
Overwatch hype and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to remember. I couldn't remember if it was a team-based shooter or not. But like either way, like I mean, look, Overwatch
Yeah,
is
like
essentially
Overwatch.
dead.
I mean, kind of, but people still play it though. That's the crazy part.
Man, I still
That's
play
because
it.
Overwatch was.
They keep content up there, but there's not too many other games right now that do it better. That's
True.
why they stay
Very
there.
true.
But
Very true.
in general, if you go to Twitch, I'm pretty sure it's not a lot of viewers.
Nah,
More
just
than
a
we got
hardcore
here,
fan.
but you know what I'm saying.
It's
The
just a
game
hard
working on that.
Yeah, it's kind of busted. And then at the same time, like if you're solo queuing, you see how salty I get with 3 people. You in Overwatch, you gotta find 6. And I'm like, so I'm playing with 5 other scrubs. Like, nah, that got really frustrating because that game's way fast paced.
Yeah, it is. It's very fast paced, and especially because you know people just respawn, and it's a team based shooter. It's a
You get shoehorned into using a specific team. Like, you have to use a specific set of characters, and then they
I mean, it's got
they change
17,000 viewers.
didn't they change it or something? Though?
That I'm not sure. I honestly.
I mean, I think Gamer knows like that you can. They limit what type of character you can use now.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
and
might not-
ranked and ranked and
yeah.
ranked.
It's
That-
in,
well,
actually
I'm
in
like,
quick
I'm
play
not-
also. Yeah, it's also in quick play. It's like
Like,
it's pretty
you
much
keep me from using my character. No, not doing it. Like,
no. It limits your It limits how many classes you can have. Like you can't have like 1,000 ninjas running around. You just have like
Yeah.
you got 2 of each: 2 offense, 2 defense, 2 healers. You know, 2 support.
yeah, but I mean, you see what that does though, because you're still telling somebody you can't do this if somebody else picks, two characters or whatever. It'd be like,
Right. But they also have, if you go to the arcade, they have Overwatch Classic, which you can pick every character, any combination you want. So they
Mhm.
still have that mode in there too. So if you want to play that, which a lot of people do, that's real popular also. So if you want to play old school Overwatch, you can. It's just that in rank or current quick play, you have to play 2 of each class.
still like that's the 2 main things that people play, so it kind of kills it. It'd be like me picking Steve Fox and like, sorry Neo, I already picked the blonde character, you can't pick Paul. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? That doesn't. I thought that was a bad idea, to be honest.
Actually, it's a great idea because it keeps the game really balanced. Because you could think the GOATS meta, for those who don't know, a GOATS meta was 3 tanks, and it was 3 tanks, a healer that could heal all 3, and a good offensive character. Well, the tanks in Overwatch can deal a lot of damage also, and long as the healers can keep them alive, that combination could not die, and it was so cheap. That's why everybody demanded like, "Hey, you gotta change this." And that was the best way to do it. Because you put 3 good tanks together, you're not killing them. And once they got a good pocket healer, that's
Oh,
it.
yeah.
There goes.
Nah.
The only way to counter it is to play the same combination. Now
Well,
that's boring. Like
I think
I don't know.
that's-
I think the thing is though, like I don't know how Overwatch does it, like if you have to pick your character before you go in, but the way it would work in like Final Fantasy 14 is it would have to be, you would need 2 tanks, 2 DPS, 2 healers, whatever. You would queue up as what you wanted to be, and it would just put you in whatever whatever had an
And that's-
open slot for that role. So if you wanted to be a DPS, you could be a DPS, but you would have to still be on a team with 2 tanks, 2 DPS, 2
Oh, yeah.
healers.
And your queue
That's-
would be longer 9
Right,
times out of 10.
right. You would have to wait longer to get into a match, but you would still be able to play whatever you wanted to play. So I don't know if that's how it
So-
worked in Overwatch or not. I don't.
So
I
how it
haven't
works in Overwatch
played.
now? How it works in Overwatch now is like, well, in quick play, you pick either offense, defense, healer, or flex. Flex, you can be in any category as long as it's open. You can play that. If you want to just game quick,
Oh, it'll just
can
it'll
play
put
flex.
you in when they're there. I got you.
yeah. And of course, everybody wants to be DPS, so that's like the longest wait. But even then, it's not that long. And plus, if you pick flex now, you can get to any other queue you want faster. It gives you like a kind of like a boost of time, so you don't have to wait as long because you played flex. So that's a new thing they started doing
My character,
recently.
man, she's considered a tank, but she's not really a tank. Like,
Which character is that?
I know
at least
nothing about
not-
Overwatch.
at least not
Yeah, like
diva.
Oh.
so I play everybody at this point. So it doesn't matter who I play. So I could just play anybody. I like playing Anna, who's a healer. That's like my favorite character now to
I
play.
suck with Anna.
Yeah, I'd suck so
So,
long.
yeah,
It took
I
me
know
forever to get.
Zenyatta, didn't you?
Yeah, I played
Yeah.
Zenyatta and Zenyatta, McCree, and Soldier.
It's high noon.
Mhm.
Like
I
Diva,
love
Sombra,
Creed.
and
Creed's
Ash.
so fun. Yeah,
Well,
I use Ash.
I did not play much of Overwatch even when it was super popular. So, but yeah, so moving on, we're going to talk about real briefly. I want to talk about Resident Evil news. And you would say, why is Resident Evil in the news? Well, I mean, yeah, they have the new Resident Evil coming out. What is it, March? May?
16th, I think.
May, I think.
Oh, it was April.
Is it April? One of them. Somewhere. Springtime.
Yeah, it was one of
Let's
the-
see.
it's March or
It
April, but I
says,
April
yeah, I
16th?
don't, 5/7 May.
May.
It's a change.
Hey,
May 7th. Damn, we're
May
way
7th.
off.
I said
Ah,
March
yeah.
or May.
No, no,
I said March or May. I said March or
But then
May.
it says
It didn't say
16th.
that.
I said
It's
April.
7th.
I thought it was closer. Man, I feel.
But
like-
the game
They
looked
did.
really good. I didn't play the demo. I do not, unfortunately, I do not have a PlayStation 5. I know Vegeta does. I'll let him talk about the demo here in a second. I don't think there was a lot to it. But on their actual website, it tells you each character that has so far been announced. But for some reason, I don't want to say some reason, I know the reason, but what is it? How do you say that name?
You asking the wrong person. I can't pronounce that at all.
I never
it's
knew her name actually.
Dimitrescu? Dimitrescu?
Dimitrescu.
It's the mistress of the castle. Watch her have like a super minor role in the game, by the way.
Right.
That'd be
Anyway, she was
hilarious.
taking over the internet because she was a very tall vampire that everybody seemed to like. And apparently, according to it's Dimitrescu. Okay. According to the Resident Evil developers, she was intended to be 9'6".
Yeah.
9'6". The perspective of how tall that is. I don't even have a perspective. That is huge, right?
That's basically because what basketball goal regulation is what
It's 10
feet?
foot, right? It's
Yeah.
10 foot.
Yep.
So-
She's literally eye to eye
That's
with
all-
with the net. She's taller than Mr. X and Nemesis, and this is in the same. Understand that this is in the same universe.
Yeah.
She's taller than Nemesis. I think she's taller than the original Tyrant.
Yeah, she
If
is.
not, yeah. I think they met. Yeah, I think she is taller than the original Tyrant. 'cause
Yes, I
Tyrant,
saw it.
Tyrant is taller than Nemesis.
Vegeta, you are the Resident Evil expert. Do you know offhand? Is she taller than them?
I'm pretty sure she is because I think Tyrant was like 8 foot something, and one of them was maybe breaking 9 foot, but not 9'6".
She's a big woman.
She's the big lady.
I don't know. Like, we don't know anything about any of these. All it says is that she's a towering woman with bewitching looks. That's literally the official title under her name. That's all it says if you go to ResidentEvil.com.
That's her description.
That's literally her
The,
description. It's her name,
have
and
a
it says the mistress of the castle that overlooks the village, a towering woman and bewitching looks. I'm
somebody in
curious.
another Discord.
Go
I was about to
the-
say another Discord I frequent. They actually have a picture of her, how tall she is compared to other people. The next tallest person to her, like fictional character, is Thanos at 8 foot.
Wow.
That's just, I mean, I don't know if, I assume, because it's first person, right, Vegeta? It's first person. Just like 7 was, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's going to really give you, I mean, I guess it will really give you a perspective of how big she is, but that's like, who sits at a
Kinda.
round table and says, we need a big, villain for the title? And they were like, it's 9'6" sound. Where does that number come
the
from?
thing is, she's actually about 2.5 feet taller than Tyrant. Because up to the 03 model, so up to Mr. X, they're about 7 feet tall.
That's what I mean. Like,
Well, didn't they say she was wearing heels though? Because I mean, so they.
Okay,
I
so she
mean-
takes it off, so she's 2 feet instead of 2.5 feet tall.
Well, no, they'd be 6-inch heels. That'd be hilarious.
she's still 9 feet.
Yeah, but yeah, she'd still be 9 feet tall. So
I mean, I understand why she was trending, but
no, I climbed that tree.
9 feet. That's got to be like.
Oh, no, you seen them branches, bro?
See the branches.
I mean,
I would say Resident Evil 7 to me wasn't like super scary. It was just nerve-wracking because it was first person and the people that you were dealing with weren't your typical villains. This one here, with it being vampires, as they've pretty much already said, that, I don't know, it's very weird. I don't know. It's going to be weird.
That's how it felt by the first one. It was just kind of creepy and grotesque, I guess is what I'm looking at. Because a lot of the stuff was just really like, a dilapidated cabin and that kind of stuff, like that kind of running theme, stuff in the woods, like moss and all that other nasty mess.
Yeah.
It felt like wet and dirty. Like it's kind of like that.
So my question is, because the people who played it, how does this connect to 7? Because 7, it was just like a crazy family, right? Like that's what he was dealing with.
It was the little girl.
No,
The little girl is
still
what did it to them.
Yeah, Evelyn. She wasn't actually a little girl. She was like an old lady, or she aged.
That's right.
An old
That's
lady,
right. She
came up
aged. Yeah.
as a little girl. But it was essentially a bioweapon. That's what Evelyn was. And then when you get infected with the mole virus, she can essentially control you because you kind of become an extension of her. And that's why everybody's going all crazy and talking all that nonsense. And they're always talking about family because that's
Hive mind,
what
pretty
her
much.
trope was. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's what she
her
wanted
mind
was the
was.
family
Yeah.
or whatever.
So, like,
Oh.
I can see, in Resident Evil 4, it was the Lost Plagas, which was also kind of like it was a bioweapon done differently than the T virus, and there was the G virus, and so on and so forth. Vampires fit into the Resident Evil world.
Probably there'll be a caveat, man, because there's
Yeah, they'll find
like-
there'll be some kind of
be a
plot
reason,
plot
a
hole
scientific
for
reason for it. Or something.
yeah. I mean,
So-
look, you got you got zombie dogs, you got plant zombies. I mean,
Yeah, and it's weird
they'll,
because
they'll
it looks like
find a way to get it in.
it looks like Ethan is the protagonist again.
Yeah.
And it says that in his story, it says ever since the events, he's lived his existence with his wife Mia under the protection of the BSAA, because he wasn't even an agent. She was his wife.
No, she was it wasn't for Umbrella, obviously, because they're gone, but it was like she was a scientist working for the company that created Evelyn. But he didn't know that.
That's what I mean. Like, he's just a dude. So why
Yeah.
I don't understand why they would be
Yeah,
interesting.
just-
His wife, and he's like,
regular
I'm
Joe
gonna
Blow.
get her.
And then Chris Redfield is also supposed to be in it, which is fine, even though he looks completely different than any Chris Redfield that we've ever seen.
You don't
We're
look like
waiting
the one that was punching boulders.
No, he doesn't.
He looks like he looks like a cross between the two. They kind of reverted the design a little bit because nobody liked the one in 7. I didn't even think it was Chris. Everybody's like, "Is that like something?" He was like, "No, they just redesigned him. Like he looks bad in 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought 7 was awful. Like, I think they purposely didn't make it look like him, so that way you wouldn't know until he said the name. But I'm like, you should have just made it look like him. It was really
Right.
bad.
Yeah.
I won't know for 2 whole seconds when he takes his helmet off.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to Resident Evil Village. I played through 7. I thought 7 was really good considering it's a different take on the Resident Evil series, but I still really enjoyed 7. And I'm looking forward to 8. I think the only Resident Evil I didn't like 5 and I couldn't stand 6. So I'm hoping 8 is still a good game. What's that?
So what do you mean you didn't like 5?
I didn't like 5's story. I thought 5 was fine gameplay wise. But this one should be pretty interesting. I'm definitely going to get it. Now, you played the demo, Vegeta. Is the demo, is it good or is it not? Like,
I mean, well, that depends on how you define play. You just walk around a house. It's like a haunted house until the end, and then you get cut, basically.
mm,
So
yeah,
I think it was just meant to show off, like, the graphics and all that.
yeah,
nonsense.
that's why it's a demo only on 5. So
I mean, like I said, that's why I look at it. It's just literally a haunted house until the end, and it's like, oh yeah, cool, you got caught, and then the real game comes out.
yeah, that's fine. That's cool. It's a cool little demo, little thing for you to play. So just before we get out of here, we got about 10 minutes left, chat. I know if you're just joining us, you're probably like, no, don't leave. But the good news is we have VODs of this here and over at YouTube where you can watch us. And we are going to be doing this every Tuesday. And that starts at 9 p.m. Eastern. Neo Phoenix says, no, don't leave. We're not going anywhere yet.
Got a whole 10 minutes.
Yeah, we got 10 minutes. And who knows, we might end up on a tangent again and watch Vegeta leave to go play Apex while we're in the middle of talking. So I want to talk about Apex. So we're going to brief Apex. I was actually going to talk about Funscape, but I think that would take way longer than 10 minutes to talk about. So we'll hold that.
No, I agree.
We're going to hold that over. That's what we're going to talk about next week, chat. So if you're interested, if you remember the arcade Funscape, if you don't look it up, do your research. And we're going to talk about that next week here at CoinOp Conversation. And then if we start at 9, which I guess we'll figure out here, it's going to be a special 2-hour CoinOp Conversation, because I'm actually going to have a good friend of mine show up at 10. But if we're not going to be on here earlier, then we'll be starting later. But 10 o'clock, we're going to have a special guest, so don't miss it. It's going to be entertaining, I promise. So
Justin Wong?
Justin, yeah, no, it's not Justin, but just as good. I do, however, want to talk about Apex Legends. With Apex Legends, today started their new season. I am going to have to bow out of this conversation for the most part because I know very little about Apex Legends Season 8 other than it launched today. So I will let Gamer and Vegeta talk about it for a little bit, and I will talk to you guys in chat as they're talking. So go ahead, guys. Take it over. Low tier god.
Oh. No, I mean, I don't. It seems pretty fun, but I think a lot of people felt it was like underwhelming for them saying, "Oh, this is gonna be one of the biggest seasons and stuff." I mean, I don't think much really changed other than they added some more to Kings Canyon. They just altered a few things. A few seems all right. He's probably gonna be my secondary. I've just been using Wraith mostly, getting used to season. She's my main anyway, but that new gun, the 3030 repeater, it just seems to me like a G7 Scout, but with heavy ammo. And like, it's like, I think it's more like a wingman. Would you say, Gamer? It's
Yeah, I
just
was
like
about to say that.
a wingman you can put a 3x on.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's what it felt like to me. Everybody said it would be more like the G7. To me, it feels like a wingman. It's like that. What's up? You can hit longer range with it. And yeah, you could put a ×3 on it. It's still a really good weapon. Like I really like it. It sucks up close though. Like if somebody's up close in your face with it, the hip fire's not that good with it. It's pretty terrible.
Because the fire rate is slower.
Yeah, it's real slow, and so somebody will melt you real quick if they're up close and they got 99 or something. So it's best mid range. You got to keep like a 99 or a Volt or something good close range next to you, because if they get close, it's a wrap with that weapon. News King Canyon is interesting. I'm still on the fence. I've been playing for a few hours. I still don't know what I think about it. Because I'm
It's just
gonna
Kings
go out.
Canyon to me. Just a few new areas.
Yeah, like I always hated Kings Canyon. I've never been a fan of Kings Canyon. Like, to me, it's the most overrated thing. Like people bring up all these great memories of it. I'm pretty sure most of them were Path mains too. So when you get Pathfinder swinging around, yeah, you loved it. But no,
Like Spider-Man in New York. I love New York.
yeah, exactly. But it's the changes are cool, but at the end of the day, yeah, it's just Kings Canyon. So it's like, okay, it's fun and all. It's something different, but I do like Fuse. I like the fact that I just kick people off a high ground with with grenades all the time.
I still think Cyber would play Fuse because clothesline.
Yeah, that finisher is like the best finisher ever. Like,
Oh, and I was laughing today too because his ultimate is the mortar where he puts a ring of fire around you. Well, like I never thought to use it inside. And Seiko was trying to
yeah,
escape somebody chasing, and he fired it, and it was like a small quarter, and the whole quarter. I'm talking like it was just inferno. I'm like, what's happening here?
yeah, it's like that's the crazy part. Like, just think if Gibby or Bang could shoot their thing indoors, that'd be so broken. But he can do that.
That's so
Like, it makes no sense why he could shoot indoors. His ult.
no,
I didn't know it neither until my teammate did it. 'Cause my teammate had him and he did it. I was like, "What the world?" It was on fire. I was like, "This building burning down."
no,
I
'cause, I mean,
thought it was like a new
think of
effect.
They throw airstrikes. Like that's different. Like he shoots it from himself, so it's like, well, you can kind of
Yeah, that's true.
finally
But
nerf my character
also,
again.
oh yeah, the hitbox. How
Again,
do you feel about the hitbox? Is it noticeable? Is it? I don't play race, so I wouldn't
I
know.
don't know. It doesn't like. See, this is what people are. This the problem I have with people when they're talking about like, oh, it's gonna make her easier to kill. I'm like, dude, she's hard to hit for a reason. If that's the case, because if she gets hit, she's dead. Like she's 100% glass cannon. If you slap her, I'm in a box. Like it's. I don't know. I mean, I've been playing her all day today, and it's just I haven't. I personally haven't noticed, but I'm like, that's probably because if I'm getting shot, I'm getting melted anyway. Like. But
Right.
they took that character to the point where I'm like, they literally told us like we can't really touch her kit anymore because if they do it, they're going to make her unplayable. That's how much they nerfed her.
But he also said though, if this change is bad, they'll actually buff her kit again. So if I were y'all, I would just complain and say, "Yeah, I'm getting killed all the time. Just get killed on purpose, so that way they give y'all a free buff." I mean,
I mean,
I'll take
here's
advantage of it.
the problem we have, especially with the Apex community, is they think that we as Wraith players don't have a right to complain. I'm like, what are you talking about? Just because they're going by hard numbers? And I'm like, no, dude. Like, nobody else in this game has gotten as many like nerfs as Wraith has, and it's getting to the point where it's getting a little annoying. Where all we're getting for 8 whole seasons is nerfs. Like, dude, come on now. Like, ugh.
But she has the best kit in the game. So to combat that, he had the idea with Horizon. Just make a character who can combat her kit or counter her kit. Just that'd be the only way that her numbers gonna go down. Other than that, I mean, her kit is perfect for that game. It's mobility for herself and for her team. Like there's nothing.
Yeah.
The only rival to that was Pathfinder. He was the only rival to her, and then when they nerfed him to the ground, she became the best character.
See, it
So
just
you have to
bothers me
make
that they
a
can't
character
figure that out.
that rivals that.
How do you make the game and not figure that out? Like,
Yeah.
the Gibby players too. They act like he's not. He's always picked in tournament too and regular because it's the what makes a good legend in that game is a legend that has an ability that can help themselves when they're by themselves or help their team out. That's why the
Right.
top 5 are what they are because they do that. And everybody else is a niche character. Like, let's use Rampart for example. She's like the worst character in the game right now because her passive is specifically to her using LMGs. And also, like she puts up walls and barriers for herself specifically. It's kind of like it doesn't really. Same thing with Octane for a while. Like he doesn't help the team really. Just kind of does stuff for himself. Like buff the low tiers. Said it.
Yeah, I mean,
Buff the low tiers. Stop nerfing the high tiers. Like
well, Rampart, hers is about environment. Like she's decent on World's Edge and in Kings Canyon, but on Olympus, she's horrible because it's always open space. Well, that amp cover does nothing in open space. It just gets you killed. So yeah, hers is situational. On
Wattson.
Octane, yeah, the new jump path for Octane's insane. Like that thing is
Yeah.
like everybody's been playing Octane and like I'm just bouncing through the whole. I literally bounce from one side to the other before the first ring. Like that's how stupid the height is now. Like especially if you slide into it, you go so far. It's almost farther than a zip line. Like I don't know what they were thinking with this thing, but
So
Well, I don't know.
on this season, did they do major map changes or is it the same map?
They do this every so often. They'll take the original map and they do something big to alter it, and then they put it back in the game, but it's altered again. That's what they did with this one, Kings Canyon. They open up the back end of the map because in the story a ship crashes there. So now we have like new accessible areas, but it's still basically the backbone of it is still the same map. Just put new stuff in it.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Yeah, they took an area.
Do you
Like think Fortnite? You know, like in Fortnite when they destroy like a certain destroy
like that.
Destroy tilted towers and create something else around it. That's what they did here. They destroyed a place called Slums and added a new area, and it's more open and you can do more stuff within that area. So it's like
do
that.
you guys, I mean, I know it's only a few hours old. Are you guys interested? Because it seems like to me, putting in a new legend is nice, but just tweaking guns here and there is kind of like, it's kind of the same. It's like a new package, same product, right? Like there's not a massive change to the game.
Kinda. I mean, they're hesitant to make like huge changes unless it's really called for. Like for instance, they took the Volt SMG and the alternator and they switched a number. Like now the Volt does 15 damage a shot instead of 16, and the alternator they switched it. It does 16 instead of 15. It's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't really.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like, I don't know. I mean that's kind of where I'm at with Fortnite. It's like, you know, there's not enough big changes to make me want to keep playing the game. It's the same game over and over. Just
like they do their changes like I'm pretty sure like because we already know there's a couple weapons they already like hinted at that's coming down the line. So if they bring those weapons in, I think they want a certain number of weapons. So they'll probably get rid of some weapons. And also they'll like change weapons to care package weapons. Like you only see them in a special care package, but they're like OP versions of those weapons. Like one of my favorite weapons, the Prowler, is in there now. And that weapon was strong on the ground, but now it's really strong. But other SMGs are in the game that are just as good, so people won't break their back to get it. So it's
I'm gonna need them to take the PK out already. It's been 3 seasons, man.
I rather put the Mastiff back in there. Yeah, I hate the
Mastiff, man.
That thing is so cheap. Like that's like it's a taxed shotgun on steroids. Like that thing is stupid.
Yeah, okay, so Cyber, like you'll understand this concept at least because you know in every game we play, like shotguns is generally meant to be close range to maybe medium range, like just inside of it.
Yeah, it's for
people
close
were complaining
encounters.
about. Yeah, I mean, people complain about the Peacekeeper, like, oh, it's so broken and people are two-shotting me, blah, blah, blah. Yo, so they put it in the care package and it's been in there since, what, season 5 or something?
Season 5.
Something like that.
Yeah, season 5.
And took the Mastiff and put it on the floor and they're like, oh, we toned it down a little bit. You can snipe with this shotgun.
Yeah.
Like, they had to increase the spread because people were two-shotting people from, like an assault rifle range. It was disgusting. And I'm like, you guys said the PK was broken? It's like,
That's amazing.
I kid you not. One of the last rings was towards there's an area on World's Edge called Train Yard. I ran a train yard. A dude hit me from atop of one of the train yards. Like I was still like further away from it. He hit me for 117 headshot with the Mastiff. I was like, "Are you?" I literally
so if you don't have shield, you're just dead.
Yeah. It was
that's
like
with shield.
That's with shield. Hit me 117.
That's what I'm saying. If you didn't have shield, you're dead.
Yeah, you're on the ground like instantly.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down, guys.
I was just running. All of a sudden, I have nothing. I'm like low, like one shot. I'm like, what the world? And then I died. And I looked it up on my thing. It said the biggest thing was a master shot, 117. Dude hit me from way like 5 miles away.
Downtown. He's eating up.
Yeah.
That man hit you from the lobby.
He sent him to the lobby. That's what he did.
Longbow doesn't do that, man. What the world?
That's crazy. It is 10 p.m. We usually run a little bit over, but tonight I know Gamer and Vegeta want to get to playing, and honestly, topic-wise, we're kind of running out, so we're gonna let it go this week. But next week, again, do you guys want to start at 9, or do you guys want to start, or do you guys just want to wait and I'll get Fumi on at 10?
Well, I mean, it don't really matter to me.
Yeah, I mean,
if
we got some
still-
good stuff to talk about. Yeah,
yeah,
I could do 2 hours. That's no problem.
That's fine. And what we can do is when you guys, if you want, you guys can dip when he gets on, if you guys want. I mean, we'll figure it out. But
Yeah, we got We got a whole week to plan this out. We good.
Yeah, we're good. If you're following me over at Twitter, you can get latest updates on what we're going to be doing with the upcoming coin op conversation as well. I'm going to be doing this week. Vegeta, hit him up. What are you doing?
Same thing I do every single week, man. Until something changes. COVID has basically made it to where we can't do much.
I mean,
outside of gaming,
That's true.
reading stuff, and
That's
watching
true.
things.
But you've been streaming more. You've been streaming more Resident Evil 2. So, I mean, you can shout that out here if you want. If not, I'm going to shout it out for you.
I just kind of do it on a whim.
That's fine. Chat.
Pretty good though.
I'll put his link to his Twitch in my Twitter. Because I don't remember if is it 2552? I can't remember if that's what it is on Twitch or not.
Yeah.
So we'll throw it up on my Twitter, guys, and you guys can go give him a follow, show him some love. Gamer, what do you got going on this week?
So not only did Apex updates on me playing that, but also I play Genshin Impact. I think only a handful of people play it that watch the stream.
Mhm.
But Genshin Impact gets a big update today too. New characters, story, new quests, and I'm about to hit that up. Probably I hit that up a little later, probably about 11. Play till I get sleepy and go to bed. But I'm excited for this update because it answers a lot of questions, and the new character actually look pretty cool. So I'm gonna be deep into that.
I got you. I understand that. So, you got anything else going on this week though? Or are you just gonna hang out?
That and for now that's about it. But that may change.
Roger that. John, hit him up. Let him know what you got going on this week.
Probably finish up working on my car. If it actually is not freezing cold.
Yeah,
my
it's
garage.
cold here, guys. It's freezing.
So
Yeah,
Literally freezing.
like 20s
snowed,
and
man.
30s. Well, it snowed earlier. It
It
snowed
was
earlier
snowing
today.
earlier today. Yeah.
Yeah, like random places, but it didn't stick, thankfully. But
Yeah, I'm about to say it didn't stick.
yeah. So I mean, I might be doing that. Other than that, the wife's been repainting our bathroom,
Okay.
so
Okay.
Ooh.
That's
I'll
what's
probably
up.
have to like
Help
her
out with that. Yep. That's
stuff
what
like
it
that.
is. That's what it is.
Part of being a homeowner, man.
That's it, man. So
But,
in other words, you're painting, and if you get time, you're going to work on your car. That's how that actually goes. That's how that's going to
I usually get kicked out of whatever painting
work.
thing is because
I've learned. So here's a secret, chat. I don't think Dizzy's watching because she's not. So you have to purposely mess up so they send you away. Go
This is
wash the
true.
dishes. Okay. Purposely wash them wrong. You're doing it wrong. Well, I don't know what I'm doing. Go away. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the
Then
secret.
you
you
wonder
chat.
why
don't have to do it
You wonder
anymore.
why she's toxic in Fortnite. Then you wonder why.
you gotta mess it up, right? You can't do it right.
No,
That's
you're
cool.
right.
So, well, for me, guys, if you're watching me here and you're a regular here, you know that I'm going to be streaming this week. I will be streaming 7 Days to Die, Phasmophobia, Fortnite. Hopefully, if I can get everything working properly, I will be playing some Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and Capcom vs. SNK 2 with some friends of mine. If you don't know what those games are, you can go look them up. But trust, if you come watch it here, you're going to be seeing some top level play as well as watching me give my commentary on the game overall. I love those games. Those are some of my fondest memories of being a competitive gamer. So hopefully I can get it working here on my computer and I'll be able to play, and you guys will get to see that as well. On Sunday, it'll be the Weekly Geekly with Eric's Reloaded. We'll be talking about WandaVision episode 5, which I saw some leaks for. It looks pretty good. So if you're watching anything Friday, watch WandaVision, then come in Sunday and give us a shout. Let us know what you think of it. Walker, Texas Ranger chat. Fellas, yeah, you watching it? You guys watching it? Huh? Right? Walker's it's on the CW. You're not watching it? Jared Padalecki, come on.
Who?
We're 2 episodes deep
No.
into Walker, Texas Ranger.
Any roundhouse anybody
Not-
yet?
I'm gonna review it.
Manchester, bro.
Where's the roundhouse at though?
Yeah, where the round has he roundhouse one person?
He has not roundhoused anyone, but he
Okay,
did
well
run
then no,
down-
you didn't. No.
So he
Nope.
he did
Nope.
run down a
Nope.
Jeep on an airport strip while he was on a
Nope.
horse.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Last week,
I
The
can probably pull it up right now, and I guarantee you, Chuck Norris roundhoused at least 3 people in the first episode of Walker Texas Ranger. The original.
that's probably true. Look. The guy was on a Jeep trying to get away, right? And they like they were sitting there, and the dude gets on a horse and runs the Jeep down.
What
And
kind
then-
of horse
And,
was
and
that?
then jumped
that a
into the
cyber
back
horse?
of the Jeep and kicked the dude.
What kind of horse he's riding?
Look,
That
That
horse
horse
is on
on steroids.
HGH.
Look.
HGH.
Fine. Take
look,
that horse.
me and my family were watching this, and I rewound it like 3 times. I'm like, there's no way he ran down this Jeep on a horse. They were
The
sitting
horse
there
also-
in the Jeep, and they were just like, he runs up to the Jeep, right? And they're just driving like they don't see him right here, and he just jumps in, and they're like, oh. I'm
that wasn't
watching
Red
it,
Bull to
guys.
get that.
I'm
sticking in
watching it.
something.
I'm watching it. So
Also,
I'm-
though,
look, my wife asked me today when it comes on, so clearly it's done something to hook the family. I will continue to watch it, but it is CW at its fine for me. Chuck is good at martial arts. He's a terrible actor. Isn't that's the joke though, Shane?
I mean, yeah, that's the whole. That's the crux of the whole
He's
thing.
probably the nicest guy in the world. I can't stand Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
So they released some Snyder Cut news. I know we're going, guys. I know we're going. Are you guys gonna watch the Snyder's Cut Justice League?
Oh,
I am out of curiosity. At
I didn't.
this point.
I didn't see the original, so I ain't watching this one either.
It's bad. Anyway, they just said it's now R-rated.
What?
Why?
Okay.
Rated.
What? I don't know how you can
I
say
gotta
that.
see this. I gotta see this train wreck to the end, man. I gotta see it because the first one was a train
Nah.
wreck. I'm like, how could you improve this train wreck? If he does it, he should get an Oscar. I'm serious. If he actually makes
There's no
Justice
way he
League
makes this
watchable.
good. No, there's no way.
Exactly.
It's only going to
Exactly.
be worse. It's not. Even if it's better, it's still a 0. It doesn't matter. You go from negatives to R is in overrated. Yes. So they made it R. So now it's not hard to really get an R rating, though, right? Like, or is it? I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, it's what like
it's common. Like these
Yes,
days,
that-
like whatever, bro.
it's just have to have like excessive violence and like
Yeah, I'm like,
4-letter
what could Justice
words
League
and
have
R
stuff.
is
in
the
it
new
that-
PG-13. I mean, let's be real.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, what could Justice League have in it that would require it to be R? Like maybe a little bit more blood.
yeah.
if they go Justice
Like-
League dark with it, then yeah, it could be R.
problem-
And then
the problem
usually
is
it's gore. So like somebody getting like crushed by a
Yeah, the
vehicle or
problem
rock
is
or
that it's
something.
not he already made like the film, right? And then Whedon took over, and then we already know how bad
What are
the
they
first
doing?
one
Like
was.
adding stuff? Like how much did they get him to act whole new scenes? Like I don't understand how you can.
Yes.
Probably. That's
That's
probably-
literally what they did. So Snyder initially said that was not his film, and that they cut scenes out of the film that was supposed to make the film watchable, right? That it was all Whedon's fault. Okay, so everybody kept saying, well, why don't we just release your version of the film, right? Just release it. And essentially HBO Max was like, okay, we're going to give you the ability to release your cut. And what ended up happening? They did a whole bunch of reshoots because it wasn't deleted scenes. He's trying to make the movie watchable.
Mhm.
That's
Good
Godspeed nudity. Yeah, I think nudity might actually be probably why it is. But what would in Justice League what I want to see nudity in? There's nothing.
It's gonna be like Aquaman jumping in there with his cheeks out.
So the Ray Fisher controversy, Godspeed, I have not followed at all, so I can't give any information on that. I couldn't tell you if it's justified, if it's not, if they fired him, if he left. That whole investigation and everything, I can't even comment on it. I listened to the first part of it, and then as it started to fall apart and then come back together, I can't. That type of drama I keep up with sometimes, but for the most part, I stay away from it.
You got you talking about WandaVision. You see that also Disney put the first promos out for Hawkeye, the other show that's coming out.
Well, I
too.
saw that Jeremy Renner posted a picture on his Twitter with the quiver on the back with the Agents of Shield symbol.
Mhm. They actually got a promo out on YouTube. It's out right now for it. I haven't watched the promo. It just happened to be in my recommendations. I'm still debating if I watch the show or not. I'm like one of the few Hawkeye fans. I actually
Oh
like
no,
the character.
I like the character. I just think like it was hilarious, like in Age of Ultron when he's like, we got robots and blah blah blah. And he's like, and I have a bow. It's like, yeah, exactly. Like it's
That's
funny
why I
to watch
loved it.
this person keep up with it. So, all right, guys, it is 12 past, and I know people got places they want to be, and I am going to go and find out what's up with my lights because clearly they're all jacked up. And I don't understand. See that? Like you can like see through it. It's just stupid. Why?
Lighting. That's the
Technology, man.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so we're gonna be done for the night, guys. I do appreciate you guys stopping by, listening to us just talk through this week. Next week, Funscape from 1995 to 2000 here was when they were open and when they shut down. I don't know the rest of the East Coast and other places. I don't know how long they stayed open or if they're still open. But
You
here,
can always research that.
yeah, it was 95 to 2000. We're going to talk about our experiences there because I'm pretty sure every single one of us here had one or two or three. So we're going to talk about that. And again, we'll have the special guest on where we can talk about some older stuff as well. You get to dive a little bit more into the Cyber Ninja history. Till next Tuesday. If you're just here for the Coin Up Conversations, we'll see y'all guys next week. Peace.
Laters.